Okay, so here's a video that has been a long time coming. I've answered it a couple times in other videos, but it needs a video of its own because I get asked this frequently. Have you ever met or communicated with any of the apostles during this lifetime who have also reincarnated? And if so, what have they said to you? Thank you for your sight in furthering the gospel at this time in the world's history. I'll take that last sentence at the end. So let's talk about the other apostles. I have traveled all over the world, but I specifically went to Israel, Greece, Jordan, Egypt, and Peru with a man who remembers being Philip. And we have done interesting things at every location. The interesting thing about being with him is your question, what have they said to you? It's not about what's said, it's about the feeling. When we're together, we laugh, we joke, we have a good time, but we look at each other and we just know. And we just know. And I met him early on in my finding out about my past life, and we just have connected. And now what's interesting is there are some things we don't agree on. Like on the political spectrum, we are on opposite sides, very much on opposite sides. We don't care. We're still friends. We still love each other. We see each other, we start laughing. We see each other, we start enjoying each other. We go to travel all over the countries, all over the world. There are long periods of time where we're traveling, where we're just walking in silence because we're feeling the feeling of it. I have met Nick Bunick, who there's a book about him. He remembers being the Apostle Paul. I have had dinner with him a couple times. In all honesty, I'm a little bit dubious about his story because a lot of it doesn't ring true to me. But then I question that because, in the Gnostic text, James, the brother of Jeshua, called Paul the great liar. So I don't know whether it was that past life that he's remembering was one of a storyteller. But I will say this, that since the book The Messengers was written all those years ago, Nick himself has, in my opinion, gone off a very serious deep end and is far from the teachings. He's very much teaching fear-based stuff now. And that, to me, is kind of proof for me that there's something not right there. I have met in one of my private readings, someone came to me for a private reading, and I met James, the brother of Jeshua, who was one of the disciples who was martyred. And I know full well that's true. We had a great conversation, but there was definitely a feeling there. There's a definite feeling there. I one time was at an event, and a man and a woman walked in the room, and when he walked in the room, I recognized him physically as Peter. And when I got a chance to talk to them both, I mentioned the name Peter offhandedly, not saying anything about who he was. And I got an email several weeks later from his wife, and the two of them had thought she was Peter. And it's an interesting element. When I look at it, I don't know. Like I said many times, I don't understand reincarnation. I don't know what it is. But I think there's a possibility, and this is just a gut feeling, don't know whether it's true or not. I think there's a possibility that they were both Peter, that she had some of that idea, that vibration, that essence, whatever it's called, and he had very much the physical man, because when I looked at him, I recognized him as the physical man. But the interesting thing is I wouldn't say that outright. I wouldn't say that outright anyway. I don't believe it's my place. I think everybody has to find their own way. And so what I did was I just mentioned Peter in the process. And it was very interesting, very interesting. So have I met him? I've met a couple. I've become very good friends with one and have done really fun things all over the world with him, including my big work that I did in Egypt as well. So yes, yes, I have met a few, and that I hope answers that part of your question. The last thing you said is thank you for your site and furthering the gospel. You're welcome for the site. I'm not trying to further the gospel. I'm not trying to do that. I'm trying to express what Jeshua believed and taught. And I do that through what he said to me, right? I think the Gospels have fallen far from his teachings and teach very much a fear-based reality that Jeshua himself did not believe in. The other thing is Jeshua himself did not believe in messiahs or deities or Christs. He believed that everyone was equal, and Jeshua himself believed that he had an understanding that of who we were and that we have the ability to be just like him. But he just had a little bit more knowledge, but he never wanted anybody to be placed above or below him. He always wanted equality. That's why he washed his disciples' feet. That's why he said, greater works than I have done you will do. That's why he said, it is your faith that heals you. He never said, your faith in me. He said, your faith. Faith means belief. So I don't want to further the Gospels. I want to decode them. I want to decipher them. I want to break away all the fearful junk that's in them and teach the truth. And all this channel really does is allow me to speak my personal truth. But as I said multiple times, spirituality is a personal journey. And if you have to go down the route of modern Christianity and following the Gospels as written, I respect that. That's your belief. We all must come to our own truth. For me, I do not want to further the gospel. I want to further the teachings of Jeshua. I think the Gospels aren't necessarily it. Okay, so there you go. There's that. I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. See ya. Bye. Thank you, my friends, for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please make sure that you've subscribed and you like it, you share it, but also comment below it. Let's get this community talking about these topics and spreading this information out far and wide so we can change the world for the better. Thank you.